Guys, what's up? So, had a super fun day of wheeling yesterday. It was awesome trails. I was at Sand Hollow out in Utah. It's right next to St. George. So we had a great day going. Little, a couple little scuffs on some rocks, nothing big. And then we got on the last trail. We were about, I don't know, I guess quarter of the way through. And I think we turned into the wrong trail or something. We turned into we were supposed to be like on a 7 trail, and we ended up turning on to like a 9, a 9 trail. And things just started to kind of go wrong. Nothing like way bad, but I popped a bead on one of my tires. So this all like happened like within like, I don't know, minutes. I popped a bead on the tire, we reset it. We got that taken care of, we got that handled. So I got going again, and then I was on kind of in a spot where I got high centered right after that. It was like all in the same area. And when I did, my drive line hit, and I did the log roll, and it just twisted the drive line off in the rear. So then pulled the drive line out, and then we were trying to go with the front, ended up popping the bead again on that tire. So we had to, put a winch to it to make sure it didn't move, bottle jack along with the high lifter. I ended up high lifting off of my sliders, and they held up. I bent one slider. I hit a rock so hard that it bent a little bit, but it didn't really hurt. Like I said, if I hit something real hard, I want them to like move a little bit instead of damage the truck, and they did great. So we reset the bead, and then we were good to go. So we kind of all got set up, figured out the line to get off the trail, because it was really difficult. And I had like all the rigs that were in our group were like really capable. I would say that mine was probably, with being open in the front, mine was probably like the least capable of all of them. However, it did really good. I did take some bypasses and stuff, but anyways, I'm talking here. So, we got all hooked up, and they were strapping me through some stuff and trying to go easy on my front end, on my tempo, because everybody knew that it was just a matter of time before it broke. And what I ended up doing was, when I rebuilt that front end, you remember I went through it and I did all the seals and I did new U-joints and stuff like that. And I chose to go with cheap U-joints to go with the Chinese guys, because I thought that I was going to be using this axle just in my tow rig, and then the K10 ended up turning into the Wheelin rig and not really the tow rig. And so, yeah. So anyways, broke a U-joint right as we were getting over one of the last obstacles to get out of the trail. So I unlocked the hubs. I basically, just had neutral at that point. But my buddy Dave and his Jeep, he's got an LS in there with a Dana 60 in the front, 14 bolt in the rear. He hooked up to me, and he basically pulled me out of the trail when we got to like the sand dune part. My other buddy Zach, he hooked up to the front of him, and there's just 2 Jeeps pulled me all the way out. And then my buddy Dave ended up towing me to his buddy's house, and that's where the truck's at right now. So me and my boy Danny, he's with me. I got 2 of the H2 wheels I have, because I went and rented the Uhaul trailer, and I think it might be a little bit too wide. So I'm gonna put those H2 wheels on the front just to squeeze it past those fenders, and I think I should be good to go. I hope so, because I couldn't find anybody that had any rollers. So I don't know. I'll do the best I can. Figure it out. When that U-joint went out, I think it took out the inner seal. So just changing a U-joint and driving home in front wheel drive, that was an option. But if that seal was bad and I had to use the front end, like it wouldn't have worked out. So I mean, chances of it damaging the seal, it may not have damaged the seal, but it's one of those things. It's like, I don't want to tear the truck down in front of somebody's house, and then not be able to drive home. I figured I'll just spend $60 on a trailer and tow it home. Alright, so I got the rescue vehicle here, rescue Burb, and the K10 loaded up. I ended up having to put these two Hummer wheels on the front just to get it to fit, because since the front's wider than the back, and ended up having to air them down pretty good to get the strap around them, but it fit. And then in the back, these are pretty close. This one's fell in. This one's yeah, it's a shad over, but it's still, the tread's kind of right there, so I think it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna drive a little bit and see how it feels. Maybe have to reposition some stuff in a minute, but that's what happens. You break a drive line, front axle U-joint, and stuff. Yep. Alright guys, made it home. That was an interesting drive. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. Alright guys, so I got a story to tell you, and I wish I didn't have to tell the story. I wish I could just haven't avoided it altogether. I'm all good as far as weights go. The Suburban is more than capable of towing it. It's got a 10K hitch, and I think it's rated for like 7,000 pounds towing or something like that, 7 or 8. And got the K10, which is pretty much the same thing other than the 14 bolt in the rear, which probably wasn't helping out. But I did notice, you know, when I first bought this, I towed it with actually a U-Haul pickup and a U-Haul trailer, and I knew that if you got anywhere close to, like, you know, a little over 55, it would start to want to sway around and stuff. So I was definitely respecting it. When I had the truck on it, I mean, I was only going like 55 max, and whenever it would start to creep up, I would just, you know, it has the tow haul, so I could like kick it down about 5 miles per hour, and it would, you know, it kind of downshifts to kind of keep your speed. And so, you know, you never really want to, because anytime I would get above 55, you know, it would start moving a little bit on me. And I've towed lots of trailers. I worked at an RV place for like 12 years, and I've towed fifth wheels and travel trailers and boats and everything else. So I'm pretty comfortable towing, but I was respecting it, doing about 55, and I had was coming down a hill. Well, actually, right before that, and I got to mention this too, right before that, the baby was kind of throwing a little bit of a fit. So I pulled over off the side of the highway on an exit, and I checked the truck, and it looked like it may have shifted in the front a little bit on the trailer. So I was like, you know what? Instead of just those front wheel straps and then the two chains, obviously, I was like, you know, I'm gonna put the come along just to kind of hold it. Like suck it down a little bit more to the trailer. And so I did that. I got back on the highway, and then it's Sunday, so it's pretty busy because it's like the main connector, I-15, with, you know, Salt Lake and Las Vegas and LA, and so, you know, it's usually pretty jammed up. And you'll get a lot of the times where it's like just be like a whole train of cars coming by, everybody hauling ass, and then like you have like little breaks in traffic. And fortunately for me, I was coming down a hill, and I felt it start to speed up a little bit, so, you know, I did the cruise control deal, and it just kind of kept pushing me, like it didn't want to, you know, it didn't want to slow it down. And so and I don't know if I got hit by a side wind or just, you know, all these things kind of happened together, but she started getting squirrely on me, and to the point to where I had tried to you know, remember what all the old school guys tell me, and all the, you know, the old timers are like, don't, you know, you can't brake, you know, you got to drive through it, you got to pull out. If you have trailer brakes, you know, like slowly press the trailer brakes that can kind of slow it down. So it has trailer brakes, but they're inertia, so, you know, you don't have the switch inside. So it started going, and you know, it was a lull in traffic where like I had the whole freeway open, the freeway was just dead straight, but she started going hard, and I was probably up at about like 62, 63, and she just started like waving hard, and I knew that I tried just like briefly, just like, you know, trying to slow like really, really gently, and that wasn't working, and I'm like, holy moly, man, you know, I'm in for something here. So it just started, you know, increasing as I was coming down the hill, and just, it was getting crazy. And so like, you know, everybody's like, you know, the old timers are like, you got to drive out of it, man, you got to speed up, you know, keep it straight. So I pulled into like the center of the highway, because it was like swaying so bad that I you know, looking at the K10 in the mirror, I mean, it was just like, I swear to God, and I'm gonna tell Uhaul this too because I want them to check their trailer, but I swear to God, the tires were coming off the ground on the trailer. Like, I couldn't actually see them in the mirror, but it was going so hard, bucking so bad, that I could swear it. I mean, like, I thought the K10 was gonna fall off. I thought I was gonna jackknife her. I mean, I thought, I don't know, I was gonna get pulled somewhere, but by, I don't know, the grace of God, I guess, I came to the bottom of the, you know, the fastest I think I got was like 70, because I was trying to drive out of it, you know. And so, you know, as I would do that, it would kind of help. And then right as I smoothed it out just a tiny bit, I reached the bottom of the hill, and it started like slowing down. And so I slowly got it back in, got back in my lane, got off the side of the highway. And like I said, you know, thankfully, like, there was a lull in traffic. There was nobody next to me. I mean, it's just a 2-lane, you know, 2 straight lanes. And so I pulled over, and semi pulled over behind me, and he got out, and I was just looking over everything, making sure it was cool, making sure, you know, like, what was going on. And he's like, man, I was praying for you. He's like, you did good, man. He's like, but I was praying for you back there. And so I think that his prayer was answered, because I've never experienced anything like that before. And if you guys have, I'm sure you guys know it's pretty scary. And it was crazy, and I was respecting it too. You know, I mean, I was only going like 55, but you know, I think it's the way that trailer is, and the heavy truck, and I mean, I was within all the weight limits, but it just I'm glad the bourbon's pretty heavy, and it has good suspension, and it held up, man. I swear to God, that freaking trailer was something. It was nuts. But anyways, I wanted to share that story with you and just say, please tow safe. And I always try to. And like I said, it just a bunch of things kind of happen at the same time. It just, I don't know. I can't explain it. But yeah. So to whoever that truck driver was, he's like, man, I was praying for you. He said you did good, and then he just gave me a hug, and it was pretty awesome. So anyways, there's awesome people out there, and just thankfully nobody got hurt, and I had the boy with me. So thankfully, like, you know, the Suburban stayed true. It didn't. The Suburban wasn't. I never really felt like the Suburban was gonna do anything. Like, it didn't feel like it was lifting up the Suburban. I had taken, you know, everything that was out of the bed. Just the spare tire was laying over the axle, strapped in flat in the bed, but everything else I had taken out, put in the back of the Burb, just to keep it tongue heavy. But I don't know, man. It was crazy. It was I don't know, something else. So like I said, I mean, the Burb held up. It didn't. I never felt like the Burb was going anywhere. I felt like maybe if the trailer got any worse, it would have definitely done something bad. But it didn't, thank God. And yeah, happy to be here. I'm happy to be making this video. So I just wanted to update you on that. And I got the K10 up in the garage. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna work on some video tonight, and I'll do a walk around of the K10. I don't know, probably tomorrow, and show you guys. But I appreciate you guys. You guys take care. Catch you soon. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna do a walk around of the truck. Just we'll just take a look at it. I haven't really, you know, other than just like walking around it, I haven't really looked at much. But you know, the rock got me a little bit. Didn't really do too much. I got a more rock rash on the tires, and the one that's off of here, I had to put these on to get it onto the U-hauler, since they're more narrow. But you know, this is where I had the high lift on it. I was jacking like from right there, and the truck kind of got tweaked a little bit. pushed in on the door a little bit, but you know, that's wheeling, you know what I mean? You gotta do what you got to do. So got the front there, push this shit out of the way. And yeah, oh, so you know, I did the other day before I went, the night before, so Friday night, I came out and I cut the bumper and then I trimmed the fenders, so that's kind of new. I didn't video it, sorry guys, but I was just kind of in a hurry. I just want to kind of get it done, but yeah, definitely glad that I did that. I would have just freaking ripped the bumper off anyways, probably. Coming around here, got this action. And, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't really bother me because this is what the truck is for, and this is what I'm going to use it for. So just like I said, for the meantime, if it can get me to the trail and back, you know, until I get the K10 done and get me a proper car hauler. I'm never towing this thing on a U-Haul trailer again. And I think what I realized the problem was is that on the U-Haul hauler, it's so short, the U-Haul hauler, that it's like it fits the wheel, but like the end of the trailer is like here. You know what I mean? So then you have all this overhang from the back of the trailer, and then like the center of the wheels on the trailer are like right here in this area. So you do have the weight of the front, but you know, I mean, shit, this bed is heavy, and the 14 bolt's heavy, and it's a heavy old truck, heavy frame. The gas tank's in the back. You know what I mean? So it none of that stuff helped. Couple of scuffsters down the side. Let's see, I got a couple new deals there. Not too bad. I did this, so now I'm gonna have if I do the trail again, I'll have more clearance to get around some stuff. But yeah, so I still got lights front and back. I'm ready to go. So all I gotta get, and let me show you, is a is a drive shaft. Let's see here. Glove on. Yeah, so see here, I had felt it hit one time before, and that was that. I was actually up on top. I got high centered, and maybe I'll put the video in, but it felt so weird because it kind of got high centered, and the whole truck just went like whoop. And I was like, well, maybe it's just the way it's doing. But then after the drive line broke, I realized, I'm like, oh crap, it was freaking doing the log roll. So yeah, anyway, anyways, and then let's get up underneath and we'll take a look around, show you what's going on. The one of these tires here, I don't know which one came off which side, it don't really matter, but one of them popped the bead and just hit it right, popped the bead, so thankfully the tire is okay. And then when we put it back on, the pump we were using, we actually got it reseated on the trail, but the pump we were using, the gauge didn't read quite right, so we ended up pumping it up to only like about 6 to 7 psi, so it came off right away again. So then we reseated it, and then we put like 12 pounds in it, and it seemed to hold up. So yeah, so then let me get a light, we'll get on the creeper, just take a quick peek underneath. We'll start from front to back. So nothing crazy here. Good thing I had this hitch here, because obviously had to use it quite a bit. It worked pretty good with my D-ring hanging out. And yeah, I dug it. Smells like power steering fluid. I got that fluid hot, I think, but it looks okay here. It looks like I may have bumped my tie rod a little bit, but I don't know. It'll be alright. But yeah, I don't know. And then this is the let's see if I can get in there. Let's see. Some broken action there. Oh yeah. So from me driving it So I pulled it. Yeah, it broke. That sucker broke bad. But I have, here, let me get in there. So anyways, you can see it broke, and it wanted to break the axle. Yeah, it broke the axle. Cause I was just like, you know what? I'm freaking driving this sucker up onto the freaking onto the trailer. I'm driving it off and into the garage because coming along and these suckers onto there, it wasn't going to be that much fun. And there was already damage to it anyways, I'm sure. So I've got extra stubs and axles and stuff. So and I got a couple axles sitting on the side of the house anyway. So I've got I got plenty of extra stuff. So like I said, I'm going to replace these. I'll use some good Spicer stuff, and then hopefully it'll hold up a little bit better. But you know, it's just once you lose that push from the rear end, these fronts, it's just a matter of time. But it actually did. I did the damage to the axle by moving it, by getting it onto the trailer and then pulling. I think most of the damage probably happened from turning it a whole bunch and moving it, trying to get it into the garage. But other than I had no way, and I didn't want to. I don't know. I don't want to put it on the side of the house because it's starting to get warm. So I'd rather work on it in the garage, if you know what I'm saying. So that's it there. So we're gonna have to pull this front axle apart. I will. I don't know if I'll probably replace both sides, since I got to get in there and I got to pull everything apart anyways because the that seal was leaking. And so I don't know on these, like I've never broken one before, so I'm not sure if, you know, just because it broke and it fell down, if it was just like pushing on the seal and then it was just running out. So I didn't know, but yeah. So anyway, so that was the this is gonna be the most fun carnage to fix because we got to pull everything apart. I got to pull the carrier out again and do it. But you know what? Them's the brakes. But I may have, I don't know. I may be getting a 60 sometime soon. It may be coming with a Blazer. I don't know. So we'll see. I'm talking with my buddy about it, since I may get more kids, and so I can't fit everybody in a K10. But you know, this one will stay. The K10 ain't going nowhere though. The K10 is just my straight wheeler. But that's it. Okay, so let's start moving back. We'll check things out. All right, so passenger slider, pretty good. I think it hit some stuff pretty good. See my bar there, but everything looks okay. Let's see any problems. Like I said, I did jack with this one too. I actually pretty much had the truck completely jacked up, and it held up. And then I put my skid plate back on this sucker the other night too, and apparently a good thing I did, I guess, because it wouldn't have, that transfer case would have hit. And I don't know, that's it. That's all I see right here. And then just in the back, obviously, I'm missing my drive line. Check this other slider. Is it bent, man? I hit something so freaking hard. I don't even know what I hit, but it bent it up a little bit. So it bent it up right after this last bar. So it's just kind of doing one of these actions. Kind of, so if you can see back, it's kind of coming up a little bit. But oh well, I'll keep running it until they like totally, completely. But yeah, I mean, I guess I have to say that these things have they've saved the crap out of this truck, because yeah, they took some hard, I think there's some really hard hits the other day. You can hear in my video, if you watch the video, you can hear it coming down, bam. So I'm gonna work on a video. I wanted to do this video, and then I'm gonna work on another one that's just the K10. Just kind of like all the highlights and in-cab wheeling and outside wheeling of the K10, and then I'm gonna go through and I'll do one of all the rest of the rigs. You know, I'll break it down like with each trail, so that ought to be fun. Let's see, my 14 bolts okay. Looks like it got hit a couple things. I wonder how my gas tank skid plate is. Let's check it out. Yeah, so it definitely took some shots. You can see it bent those, and that's exactly what I wanted to happen right there. So I wanted this stuff to bend, that way it didn't bend the cross member, you know what I mean? So I can just pull this off, or I could probably straighten them on the truck, but maybe pull it off, straighten these back out just to, you know, regain a little bit of space between the tank, which I'm sure well, yeah, it's kind of pushed up against the tank right now. So I'm gonna pull it off, straighten those back out, and then, you know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things. I mean, I can straighten it after each wheeling trip if I have to, but it protects the tank, and then it's not enough to where it's gonna rip the cross member off. But I don't know. See, I think it just caught. You know, a lot of things was coming off stuff, so I think a lot of things just caught the back of it. You know, you can see here and here and here and here. My suspension hit a little bit, I think. Rub some rocks, but that is it, guys. I'm gonna go in, we'll wrap this video up, and then be on the lookout for a K10 video. Better straighten that sucker out. But that's it. I love this truck. I love the people I wheel with too. So they're awesome people, and more fun ahead. You guys take care. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon.